Hey you guys, welcome to a new episode of Food and the Single Guy with me, your very own AMARU. Now you guys, before we move on to the cooking, I have a couple of things to say to you. First of all, this is going to be a long video. I know there are a lot of you out there who don't like long videos, you don't like long intros. I, on the other hand, love a long video, especially from the people that I watch, the people that I'm subscribed to. So if you're not into long videos, you can do two things. You can either fast forward, like some of you do anyways, or you can just not watch the video, okay? Now, secondly, I want to say this to you. A couple of weeks ago, I had fallen ill and I thought that I was going to be out of commission for a long time because the situation was dire. I received some medication and I am on the mend. I am almost completely back to normal. I feel very good. I still have to take some of the medication, but I feel very good, and I do want to express my thanks, my gratitude to each and every one of you for reaching out. You have posted your concerns on the community tab. Those of you who know me, you have sent me text messages to wish me well and everything, so thank you for all of that. I also want to share this with you, and maybe you've already seen this on the community tab or on my social media or possibly even on my website amaru.nl. A couple of weeks ago, I received notice that I have won 3 very prestigious Accolade Global Film Competition Awards in California, USA. And baby, you have no idea how happy I was, because I submitted 3 of my films and I was banking on winning at least 1. But I was nominated 3 times and I cashed in all 3 nominations. Now, these awards, and they say this on their website too, these awards are not very easy to win. And the jury is very strict. And for a small town South American boy with big dreams and stars in his eyes, I was very happy to win. And I won for the music video for Tell Me, my single Tell Me. I won for the music video for my single Never, which is the breast cancer tribute to my late grandmother. And I also won for my music documentary, For the Record, The Making of Champagne Attitude. So these awards, like I said, are very prestigious, and they're also awarded to big names in Hollywood, you know, such as William Shatner, Matt Damon, George Clooney, Jaden Smith. I mean, to be in the ranks of all of these people, to be listed, to see your name on the website next to these people, that is big. That is big. And that is what I wanted to share with you also, because I don't come from money. Nepotism will never work for me. I was blessed with X amount of talent and X amount of finances. So with the means that are available to me, I have managed to produce and direct and to finance these film projects that have now gone on to win these very prestigious awards. So to everybody that's in my corner, I want to say thank you. All right? Now, before we move on to the cooking, I want to share this with you also. I have uploaded some new designs on my merchandise website, and this is one of the t-shirts that I'm wearing. So if you're interested in supporting the AMARU brand, the link to my Spreadshirt merchandise store is posted in the description box below this video. And just an FYI, everything that I do online is posted in the video description box. I have made it very easy and convenient for you, my viewers. So when people ask me, where can I buy your book? How much does it cost? There is a lot of information in the description box below the video. And in addition to that, on the left-hand side of the screen, I always put the link of my website, amaru.nl. But people don't read. Anywho, that concludes my church announcements. Let us move on to the cooking. Because in December of 2012, I uploaded a video. The title of that video is Dawet. And Dawet is basically a drink. This recipe is from the Javanese cuisine, by the way, Indonesian, Javanese, Java, the island of Java. If you know anything about the population of my country, there are a lot of descendants from the island of Java living in my country. Colonization, the whole thing. But anyways, so this recipe comes from the Javanese cuisine. And what it is a syrup that is made with lemongrass and which is diluted with coconut milk. and it's called Dawet. It is delicious. Next to our Afro-Surinamese ginger beer, this is my favorite drink from my country. So back in December of 2012, I uploaded a video in which I show you how to make this drink, and it is not the traditional way of making this drink. I was fully aware of that, and even in the video description of that video, I, made notice of it. Now look, you guys, this is not the traditional way of doing this, so don't come for me, I was lazy. But the fact of the matter is, back then, I was just starting with the cooking channel, and I was just trying to find my way, and to be honest, I was somewhat in a hurry to make videos, to share things with you, because I was excited. But that old video, that is not the traditional way of making this recipe. So in this video, which is called Dawet Reloaded, I will revisit that that video, because it has always bugged me that I pride myself in uploading videos in which I show you how dishes are made traditionally and authentically, and that video has always bugged me because I know that that is not the way. That is the lazy way of making this beverage, okay? It's not wrong, but it's not traditional, and it was bothering me. So I said, today is the day that I'm going to show my people how this beverage is made, because it is a delightful beverage, let me tell you. And everybody on planet Earth can make this. Everybody. Lemongrass is readily available globally. Coconuts are readily available globally. Sugar is readily available globally. Salt is readily available globally. So everybody can make this drink, and you should, because it's very, very delicious. Now, I do have to say this. Traditionally, and I speak from what I know, as I told you many videos ago, I was raised predominantly in the country, like in the interior of our country, where things are done a little more traditionally as opposed to in the big capital city. So I speak from what I know. And traditionally, you would add coconut jelly to this drink. Now, coconut jelly is the meat of a very young coconut. It's very translucent, and it looks like gelatin, if you will. And that is what they would pass through a sieve to generate tiny little chunks of coconut jelly, to be added to the drink. Very much comparable to the aloe vera drink that we buy these days with little chunks of aloe vera, something like that. But because I live in Europe and I don't have access to very young coconuts, and coconut jelly cannot be frozen, I had to purchase, well, I didn't have to, but I did purchase a semi-ripe coconut, and I scooped out the flesh of the semi-ripe coconut, and it's still very soft and very jiggly, and I chopped it up finely to add it to my drink, because traditionally you would add coconut flesh or coconut jelly to this drink. So that is the only thing that I had to improvise with, but other than that, this is the traditional way of doing this. This is the traditional way of making this beverage. And like I said, this is a long video. I am not one of those people who would make something that is so time consuming and so lengthy in preparation. I cannot condense that in a 3-minute video. I cannot do that, because I am trying to teach you something about my country, and I have to do it right. I have to do it well. So that is why this is such a long video. I haven't done such a long video in a long time. So again, bear with me. Now, one last thing before we move on to the cooking. Over time, the people went on to use cornstarch to mimic the feel and the taste of the coconut jelly. So they would make a cornstarch pudding that is not very thick, and then they would pass that through a sieve, and that would generate these tiny little dumplings of cornstarch, which would drop into a pan or a bucket of cold coconut milk, and they would solidify almost instantly, and that is what they would add to this drink to mimic the coconut jelly. Okay, that is what they did, or what they started to do like years ago, because harvesting a young coconut and scoop out the coconut jelly is a very time-consuming process in itself. So they had to make do, and they wanted to simplify their lives, if you will, make it a little easier on themselves. So that is what the people started to do. I don't like that very much, because I'm a little bit of a traditionalist where that is concerned. So I tried to show you in this video how it's done the right way. Alright? And I hope you will appreciate the time that I put into the making of this video, because like I said, it is a very lengthy process, especially considering that I have to make the video, I have to film myself, I have to check, and sometimes, at times it did happen, the picture would change, the image, the quality, the color, the hue, and the saturation, it would change because when you move the light, something happens on camera. And then all of a sudden you have a red glow on your face, and then next thing you know it's blue or green. I hate when that happens because then I have to do a lot of color correction in my software, and that is very time consuming. So having said all of that, you guys, before we move on, all the ingredients are listed below in the description box below this video for your convenience. Alright, so now it is time for us to move on to the preparation of Dawet. Okay, you guys, so what I have here is my lemongrass, and what I'm going to do with this, I am going to open it just like so, and then I am going to wash the stalks of lemongrass. So this is what they look like, and as you can see, these are very thin stalks of lemongrass. In my country they grow very thick and very succulent, so I'm going to use this entire bunch of lemongrass to make my syrup with, because I want the syrup to be very flavorful. So let's wash the lemongrass. Okay, you guys, so next what I'm going to do, I'm going to crush the lemongrass to ensure that all the oils and the flavors of the lemongrass are released. And I'm going to use my pestle to crush the lemongrass with. Just like this. This is what you're looking for. Alright? Alright. Okay, you guys, so next what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a piece of twine to tie up this little bunch of lemongrass, just like so. See? This is what I'm talking about. So, let's continue. Okay, you guys, moving on, what I have here in my pot is about 1 kilogram of sugar and about 1300 milliliters of water, which we are going to bring to a boil with the lemongrass, just like so. First, we're going to give it a gentle stir. And of course, we're going to check on this in about a couple of minutes. Oh yes, this is looking good already, and it smells delicious too. Oh yes, and as you can see, the syrup has already turned color. It has a nice golden hue. So next what we're going to do, we're going to allow this to continue to cook for about 5 to 10 minutes on medium high. And then we're going to turn down the flame and allow this to simmer for another 30 to 35 minutes. Alright? Alright. Okay, you guys, so the syrup has been boiling away for about 10 minutes. I am now going to turn down the heat and I'm going to allow it to continue to simmer, as I just mentioned, for another 30 to 35 minutes. There we go. Okay, you guys, so it's been about a half an hour. I am now going to turn off the heat, and I'm going to remove the lemongrass. Just like so. There we go. So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to allow this to cool for about an hour, and then I'm going to finish preparing the syrup. Okay, you guys, so next what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass the syrup through a sieve. Just like so. Alright, you guys, so next what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour the syrup back into the pot, and then I'm going to finalize the preparation. Okay, you guys, so now it is time for the final preparation of the syrup, and what we're going to do next, we're going to add some color to the syrup. And back in the day in my country, they used this to add color to the syrup, and it is called cola essence. And it is a red food coloring, and it has a very sweet kind of scent, but this is what they would use to add color to the syrup. If you don't have this, fear not, because you can always get away with a little bit of red food coloring, all right, the powder. And this is what it looks like. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this is what it looks like, and a little bit goes a long way, so don't go crazy with the food coloring. Now up here they also have something that is called Dawet extract, and this is what I use to add color to my Dawet syrup. And it smells somewhat like the finished Dawet drink, the finished beverage, okay? It has hints of the lemongrass and hints of coconut, so it's a perfect addition to your syrup, and this is what I use. I have to say that growing up as a child, I don't remember seeing this extract at the stores, okay? I have seen this in recent years in this country, so yeah, I'm not sure if they also sell this in my country. But what we're gonna do next, we're gonna add some of this extract to the syrup. Here we go. Now let's give it a stir. It smells super delicious, you guys. And like I said, the Dawet extract already contains hints of the lemongrass and the coconut, so it's a perfect addition to the syrup. Okay, you guys, this is what the syrup looks like. Doesn't it look beautiful? Oh, but it does. Now, you guys, I have used white sugar to make my syrup with. And the key is when you prepare the beverage with the coconut milk, the color of the beverage should be a nice and deep pink. Okay, so what I'm also gonna add is a little bit of the red food coloring, just a little bit. There we go. And as you can see, the syrup has turned into a darker shade of red. And that is what you want, because when you're going to add the coconut milk to the syrup, your beverage is going to turn into a nice pinkish glass of goodness. And that is what you want. And there we have it, you guys, my delicious Dawet syrup. And as you can see, I have poured the syrup into this mason jar, and it's still warm, so we're not gonna cover the jar just yet. We're gonna let it cool completely. I also need you to know that for the amount of sugar that I've used, 1 kilogram of sugar, that will generate about a liter of this syrup. All right? Now, in the next clip, I'm going to show you what the actual beverage is going to look like, the Dawet beverage. I'm going to show you what it looks like once we've diluted portions of the syrup with portions of the coconut milk. All right? All right. Okay, you guys, so next what I'm going to do, I'm going to crack open these coconuts with my hammer. But before I do that, I have to extract the coconut water. And you cannot tell me that my God isn't amazing, because not only did he give us the coconut, he has also provided these 3 little indentations on the shell of the coconut, which we have to puncture with a sharp object to extract the coconut water. So let's get to it. Now, what I also have here is a young coconut. At least that's what they told me at the store. They told me it is a young coconut and I will enjoy it. I said, okay, I'll be the judge of that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open it, I'm going to extract the coconut water, and then I am going to slice it open, and hopefully it will be a young coconut so I can show you what the coconut jelly looks like. And that is what I so desperately need for this beverage, that coconut jelly. Okay, so wish me luck. Well, there you have it. No such luck. The coconut water, on the other hand, was very, very sweet. I love coconut water. But the meat has started to thicken, as you can see. This is somewhat of a ripe coconut already. It's very young still, but it's not young to the extent that the flesh is still jelly, and it is the jelly, the coconut jelly, that I need for my beverage. I am going to scoop this out with a spoon and use it nonetheless, but this is not coconut jelly, and this is the way you scoop it out. All right, let's move on. What I have here is my coconut flesh, and I am going to finely chop this just like so, as fine as I possibly can. And again, you guys, you will need the coconut jelly for this beverage, but because I cannot find coconut jelly up here in my neck of the woods, I am using the coconut meat of a semi-ripe coconut. All right, here we go. See, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, you guys, as you can see, I am now extracting the coconut water, and you got to be very patient with it. It takes some time, but as you can see, it's coming. It's coming. Oh yes. You just want to shake it a little bit, just like so. And there we have it, our coconut water. I'm gonna sift this in a minute because, as you can see, it contains a lot of residue from the shell of the coconut. We don't want that. And next, I'm gonna continue extracting the water from the other coconuts. Okay, you guys, and now for the fun part. We are going to crack open these babies with my hammer. And if you're going to do it like this, holding the coconut in your hands, you may want to place a rag on your hands before you crack open the coconut, because if you don't do that, the shell of the coconut will cut into your skin, okay, and that is not what you want. Now, if you have a large patio, you can also place the coconut on the floor and then use your hammer to crack it open. All right, here we go. Here we go. We're cracking. Now let's have a look, see. Alrighty, see? That's what I'm talking about. So next, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a knife to remove the flesh from the shell. Okay, and that's gonna take some time, but that's what you need to do next. Okay, you guys, so this is what I'm talking about. This is the flesh of one coconut, and as you can see, it is very, very thick. Next, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to chop them into nice little chunks, and then I'm going to put them in the blender and blitz them into oblivion, and then make my own coconut milk. Let's go. So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. You want to chop up the coconut meat into nice little dice, like so. Not too large, you guys, because you don't want to damage the blade of your blender. And next, what I'm going to do, I am going to blitz these into oblivion and make the coconut milk. Okay, you guys, so to my blender, I am going to add the coconut. There we go. I'm also going to add some warm water to the coconut. And you want to make sure that you add enough water. You don't want to submerge the coconut into all of that water. The top layer of the coconut chunks should be visible. All right? So now we are going to blitz the coconut. So after about a minute, you're done. We're now going to pour this into a bowl and finish making the coconut milk. So to this, I'm going to add some water. Just a little bit, just like so. You don't want to add too much because, like I said, otherwise your coconut milk is going to be too runny. So next, you're simply going to squeeze the shredded coconut flakes like this to make sure that you get the most out of your coconut. It smells delicious, I can tell you that. And it feels very creamy. And next we are going to strain this. There we go. And there we have it, our homemade coconut milk. And I can tell you that it smells delicious. It's very creamy, very thick. I'm going to have to dilute this with some water. And you don't want to drink this just like this because it's going to give you the runs and nobody wants that. So I am going to continue preparing this delicious beverage. So as you can see, I've added some water to my coconut milk. I am now going to add the finely chopped pieces of the meat that I chopped earlier. And I'm gonna give it a stir, just like so. Now, to bring out the flavor of the coconut, we're going to add some salt to the coconut milk. And I cannot tell you specifically how much salt to use. You want to add small amounts at a time, and then you have to taste the coconut milk. You want the coconut milk to have a very subtle, and I do mean a very subtle, salty taste. All right? All right. Now let me go ahead and taste this. Just a little bit more. See? This will do just fine, I think. So next, what we're going to do, we're going to dilute some of the syrup with some of that coconut milk. Just like so. Of course, we're going to give it a bit of a stir. Clink, 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 clink. Ooh, honey. Now let me taste this. Oh yes. Oh yes. This is it. This is it. And there we have it, the final presentation. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Baby, let me tell you, it was delicious. And you will definitely taste the difference between juicing your own coconut, making your own coconut milk, as opposed to using canned or, packaged coconut milk. There is a significant difference. Now, if you decide to try Dawet this way, let me know how it turned out, because I'm always interested in hearing from you. In the meantime, do be well, take care, happy cooking, happy Dawet drinking, and until we meet again, you guys, have a good weekend. Bye.